Greetings, Red Raw Love. I got a question for you. Do you ever go around people sometimes and you were like excited, enthused, feeling amazing, and then you start striking a conversation with an individual, and then all of a sudden you start yawning, you start getting really tired and exhausted, drained, in other words? Have you ever asked questions like what's happening? Have you ever tried to put two and two together? Or have you just said to yourself you're tired or you're exhausted or maybe you should go take a nap? I'm almost positive most of you have thought those second options, but never took out the time to wonder, um, maybe something else could be transpiring. Maybe something else could be taking place that is unforeseen that I have yet to understand, which might have been the reason why you've been led to me. See, I started on this path to try to gain more understanding, understanding, and overstanding about the things that were happening around me, between the relationships that were corresponding between me and my friends, families, loved ones, brothers and sisters, and so forth. That doctors, preachers, and those of so-called authority could not provide the answers for. So it led me to asking self questions and then going out into the world to get the information. But what I've learned throughout the course of my life is that there are a number of things that are happening if you are not aware. If you are unaware of these things, then these things will happen as much as possible, or these things will happen until horizontal gene transformation or transfer comes into place. Even vertical gene transfer also steps into place, which are biological terms, which leads to you basically possibly upgrading or deprogramming yourself into a state of conformity and comfortability, because we understand that misery loves company. Misery will not be around an energy that cannot subdue it, that cannot entertain it. It's going to find a frequency that is more seductive or pulled in to that particular frequency, so that it can have a host, or it can have a mate, or make relations with an individual that understands, create some type of bond or union. Happy people like to be around other happy people. We're gonna go in levels with this. We're gonna start with stages here. You baby steps here. Happy people like being around happy people. You don't want to go around a bunch of fucking sad and miserable ass people if you're happy. Because that energy can be quite draining, and these are the reasons why. A lot of us don't understand that we are connected to everything, truly. And when you're trying to move forward in your life and you're trying to advance, sometimes you can have many things pulling on you that could stop your progression. I like to call some of these things cosmic weight. I also like to call some of these things astrological programming that we've yet to completely understand, that's set in stone, that we need to become more, more connected to, because that's a lost thing that we just disregard completely nowadays. But biologically, what is happening, scientifically, what is happening when you are going around people who are not vibrating on the frequency that you are on? If you do not have the ability to raise those individuals into your frequency range, then you will become subjected, or you will be subdued to that very frequency in order to find comfortability, in order to create balance within that particular wave space, especially since we're inside of such prisms nowadays. If you pay attention to the architecture that you do a lot of your business and have a lot of your relationships in, they trap energy, very much so. So if you're not familiar with understanding that you need to open up wave spaces around your environments, then if energy starts to spiral up, that energy might not have a place of exit. It might not have a way of getting out and expressing. So you might end up allowing that energy to transfer within one another until you become conformed, or until that DNA becomes a part of you, and now you believe that those thoughts are yours, and you're this, that, and the third, and now you're walking, talking, acting, and doing certain things like the individuals that you were trying to get away from, or the people that you were just simply trying to have a conversation with, but now you're doing things that those people were doing. And in the scientific world, we like to call this vertical and horizontal gene transfer, or transformation. Then there are three types of transformation, which one is the vertical and the other would be horizontal. And the third one, I have to get back to you on the third one, but these things happen everywhere we go. There are genes in the air flying around everywhere we go. Bacteria everywhere you go, everywhere you look. Viruses in the air, everywhere you could look. In fact, I believe viruses and bacteria were the first things to even be here on this planet, going back to atoms and so forth. But we understand that cells hold DNA and RNA, right? We understand that a cell has a membrane, which is like a memory brain. It contains in other words, it has a mind of its own. So when we allow certain bacteria and viruses, which a virus holds information, and that information can then be replicated or repeated or reproduced once that